What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. Today we're going to be talking about Madden 22 underrated MUT 22 beast. Some of you guys have been asking me about, since I've been talking about not really spending a lot of money at launch, what are the other options? Now, I do want to point out, a lot of you guys want me to open the day one bundle when the EA Play 10 hours starts on August 12th, 2021. Because you guys want that bundle, I will bring the Pack Goddess out. She will show us that she has no powers, and then I'll probably have a worse team than I started off with. But besides that, as far as grinding the game, I will be grinding with you guys during that 10 hours, so don't worry about it, bro. Just make sure you subscribe to YouTube, make sure you subscribe to Twitch, you're following me, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you'll know everything that's going on. But I want to go ahead and make sure everybody understands. This card right here is going to be a monster. I know he has lower level numbers, block shit, all that in the 70s, the power move in the 60s. 84 speed with 87 excel is going to be wild and ridiculous for Montez Sweat. We're going to jump over to his counterpart, which is part of the Washington football team with Chase Young later in the video. But I got to go out and show you guys Leonard Williams. The reason that I'm showing you guys these cards that's going to make your team tough to beat, and I know the overalls are low, the weight and the size, right? This is a 6'5", 302-pound man, right? A lot of you guys that have been rocking with me for a while, you guys have been watching me play Next Gen, Madden 21, you'll see that for the most part, I'll experiment and put different players in. Like, the way we used to do stuff back in the day, you put like a little skinny guy at D tackle and you would do whatever you want. That's not the case anymore. At least it's not from what I've seen, right? I took Warren Sapp out for one game and I put in golden ticket Montez Sweat. It wasn't the same thing. The push, the pressure, he's just not heavy enough for that D tackle position, right? So these guys, we're gonna have to at launch, remember, they're going to be tuning the game. They are going to patch the game. They're going to do different things to the game to make us rage uncontrollably. We will have to adjust to that to make sure that we know what we're doing. So if I have to come out and I have to use Leonard Williams for a couple games, I will use him for a couple games. I will sub him in at D tackle if I'm running 4-3 or if I'm running big nickel or whatever. I'll put him in there as a second D tackle if I can't afford Aaron Donald. Yeah, I know he's slow. I know all that stuff, right? But he's heavy and he's big, right? His block shed, I don't like that it's not at least an 80, but I'm pretty sure with chems, the strategic cards, they're gonna make sure that these things get boosted like a lot more simplistically, so you'll be able to do that without having to go to each individual card. So the strategy cards, that's gonna be a very, very big part about what we're doing in Madden 22. For those of you guys that don't know, I spoke to you guys about it live with the scheme chems. It's gonna be a lot easier to do that this year, so we'll get those boosts. Middle linebacker, again, CJ Mosley, 79 speed, you look at it like, yo, whatever, 250, 6'2", not bad, but is he going to animate? Is he going to be somebody, is it worth it for us to go for him and not take a look at Affinity Anthony Barr, right? When you're looking at the budget cards are very, very important with the way that you're going to build your team. It is not something that you should take lightly. Because again, if I have to, just notice what I'm saying, if I have to use a card like this, I'm going to let you know why. Either I'm dead broke or I'm not grinding enough. But we're going to all be on that crazy grind come, August 12th. It don't matter. Like, we're going to all be grinding. But this is a situation where I'm going to have to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. Like, am I still running 3-4? Am I running the big nickel, and leaving a linebacker in for the package because it's the early part of the year? Or am I going to still go free safety, strong safety in that package? We have to look at it like that because the change in direction and the speed of Next Gen, specifically to Next Gen, is going to still take some time to adjust to. Although we've been playing the Next Gen, we don't know exactly what they're unleashing come launch day. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these cards may not play the way they did in the beta. I know they did that to us before with the other beta. It was just a completely different game. The movement, everything was a little bit off. Down to Hightower. This is another big, heavy middle linebacker that will be tough in the run game. Like, he's going to make plays in the run game just because he's that heavy. And he's big enough that you might get lucky with a lurk, right? It doesn't really matter about the teams. I'm showing you different teams, Patriots, Washington football team. We're all over the place. The Giants. Because when you're first putting together your team, it's not that big of a deal with getting 25 players. We all know that as MUT veterans, if you're new to MUT, pretty much putting together a certain number of players from one team is going to give you some really good boosts. At launch, our goal is 25. We're not looking for 50. There aren't going to be a lot of ×2 players that's going to give us that extra team chem. Yeah, the team captain's going to give us 3 buckets for the team, but it's going to be very, very difficult. I don't want to start off making it seem like a hassle for you guys. That's why you guys get better. I lay out a plan for you guys, we all follow it together, and then we take notes along the ride. So you're never really left by yourself. It's like, all right, yo, we're doing this. All right, this doesn't work. We're doing this. And that's how you get better. And it's very important that you guys understand that, because if we find a budget card that is really, really good and we share it with each other and it's working for a while, more than likely, I'm going to say 100% EA is going to tune that card. And then it'll eventually become trash. We have to then move to the next card. So it's all a big journey. It's like, what do we have to do next? What is EA going to do next to us? And that's the thing. As like looking at Quinnen Williams, right? You might look at him and be like, yo, he's barely 300 pounds. But he does have an 81 block shed, so he's above that 80. Will that matter? Will that matter? Like, you know, 4th down. I just lost the game earlier today to a total bum. That on 4th, like, he just threw the ball up in the middle of the field and nobody shedded, even though we have Edge Threat Elite, we have all that stuff on my players. Nobody shedded. The guy had all the time in the world and just threw it up, and I lost the game, right? Very, very wild stuff will happen randomly. It's all just part of the Madden experience. You're going to go through rage cycles where you can't believe what's going on, but when you figure out something that actually works, that's going to drive you throughout the rest of the year. So that's what my biggest thing is. I'm looking at some of these low-level cards because I have a feeling, and just hear me out, there may be a slight skill gap back. Like, there may be a situation that if we don't have a specific card, we're going to lose every game. It may be a situation where if we don't have a specific run-stopping ability, we're going to lose. If our guy is not 320 plus, we're going to lose in the run game. Those are the things that we have to figure out. And the reason that I'm showing this beast, people are going to have no choice but to be very, very careful with the cards that they're selling. Because a lot of these cards, these low-budget, underrated beasts at 82, like, that's so nasty. But it is MUT. And you got to start low and then go high, and that's the way it works. But he's going to be absolutely insane, even without all the other numbers. Even though I think these numbers are ridiculous, he should have at least the 80 in block shed. The dude's a monster. But he's 6'5", 264. He's a big body. So you put him with Montez Sweat, and it starts going, bro, wreaking havoc, because you're going to get random sheds. And that's what we're trying to look for. Is it going to be a situation where you send 2 and get through? Or will you have to send 3 and be at your mom's crib? I don't know. We're going to have to see once the game's launched. But I'm showing you these numbers because I need to get that in your brain. You cannot just quick sell and just sell cards for very, very cheap just because they're low overall elites. Make sure you pay attention to this stuff. And I'm showing you the numbers so that you get a kind of a glimpse into it. These cards that are 6'5" and up, they're going to play a lot better than the shorter, you know, still heavier cards. It's just something about the size. That's what they're emphasizing in next gen, and that's what you need to be made aware of. As we continue to go forward with this journey up until the early release, I'm going to keep giving you guys this knowledge. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time with part 2. This was part 1. Like it up if you enjoyed. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.